before I roll the stinger to our next and final segment here, I do again want to address those of you that are watching this segment. I really, really hope that there are some liberals that will watch it. People that maybe are not the biggest Trump supporters. I know there's conservatives that aren't the biggest Trump supporters. But listen, if you're a liberal, I want you to understand this. This isn't a push to show Biden in a terrible light, even though it does. And it's not meant to try to make Donald Trump look better, which it does. The whole idea of this segment is really to reveal the lies, deception, and deceit of the mainstream media, and hopefully release the hold that they've had on you for so long. And when I say you guys more than us. That's why when you go online and you hear about channels like Rumble, or platforms like Rumble rather, and then some of these other ones, you're like, what is that? What is that? Free speech platforms, because other ones censor what we say, because they are so determined to silence alternative voices. And I'm a nobody. I'm a very small channel, but folks like myself, Third Railify, the Washcast, you've got larger channels for sure, the Quartering, Louder with Crowder, Liberal Hive Mind, Don't Walk Run Productions, so many others that talk about headlines and news and information that is very, very vital that we know, but it's not making the rounds, or it is being misinterpreted or misrepresented by mainstream media. Again, I urge you to stick through this segment if you can. Okay. I think you're going to get something out of it. With that, let's call it what it is. There's something wrong with Joe.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
There's something wrong with Joe.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this first article we're going to look at here. This is from the New York Post. The Obama-Biden arm grab wasn't just a senior moment. It was the moment everyone realized the president's not fit for office. Now, stay with me here. Yes, I'm going to mock what happened to Joe Biden in a caring way, I would say. But again, the presentation is going to be more so about how the media is spinning it. Now, look, I will call out the left for sure when they misrepresent something, do something wrong, whatever. But I also call out the right. I have no problem calling out Trump or anyone else on the right that does anything that I dislike. In fact, next week, we're going to have, again, I'll do another plug for next week's show, interview with Robert Hur from the Washcast, business owner, conservative commentator, and he went to that People's Choice or whatever it was. I'll say it right later at the end. I forget. Sorry. That Turning Point put together, filled with conservatives. And there was some questions I have that I want to ask him how he felt about that I thought was a little weird on my side. But again, I question everything. I take nothing at face value. I always want to question. I always want to live in reality. And I've got my own personal opinions, just like everybody else does. So let's go ahead and look at this article. I'm going to try to run through as much as I can, because this might end up being a little bit of a long segment, but I'm going to try to run through it as quickly as possible to hit the highlights here. So this is an opinion piece from New York Post. It's written by Piers Morgan, of all people. How about that? We're going to look at the video. We're just not going to right here. We'll get into that in a little bit. They were only 10 words, but wow, did they spark a reaction. I watched the viral clip of Barack Obama taking a frozen Joe Biden by the arm and leading him off the stage at their star-studded $30 million LA fundraiser, and posted on X what I suspect everyone who watched it was thinking: so embarrassing. The Democrats can't let this go on, surely. Within a few hours, a staggering 7.5 million people have viewed my post, and many thousands of those had liked, reposted, or commented on it. I know that's where I saw it. It was on, again, the new space that I'm getting used to, Twitter. I'm new there. Look me up. I have no idea what I'm doing, so y'all help me out there. As I thought, the vast majority shared my honestly held opinion that President Biden is no longer fit for the highest office in America. I don't mean that he's too incompetent for the job, although many would say he is. No, I mean he's too physically and mentally unfit to function at the extremely high level required to be leader of not just the United States, but also the free world. I don't think I think he is incompetent, honestly. Pierce, that's my opinion. When the last Democrat to occupy the White House has to literally grab the current one because he notices he's had yet another senior moment and appears to be paralyzed like a statue on stage, it has to be the wake-up call everyone in the party must urgently heed before it's too late, doesn't it? We're only 5 months away from the 2024 general election, but what is now painfully obvious is that Joe Biden's already cooked as a candidate. So I'm going to stop right there. Again, don't forget, links to all the articles that I go over, stats, information, whatever, is always going to be in the show notes below. You can go check out the entire article by the New York Post. And of course, there's other ones out there as well. But you can go check the rest of that out just to make sure I'm not like skipping around and hiding stuff from you. I wouldn't do that, but it's possible I screwed something up. And, you know, if I did, call me out on it. So we're going to look at, again, we're going to look at the video. We're going to look at some more stuff here in just a minute, but I did want to mention real quick because he brought up the general election. Speaking of the general election, our first debate between Biden and Trump is next Thursday. Yes, next Thursday, the 27th. It is hosted by CNN, but I wanted to go ahead and put in a plug for Louder with Crowder. You guys heard me mention them before. Huge channel, huge show. I mean, just phenomenal. They got their own mug club that they have, you know, subscriber stuff, you know, mug club. All right. You're welcome, guys. But look, I watch their stream for all the debates. Anytime they do a debate, I watch their stream. They do a ton of instant fact checking that you don't get from mainstream media. They know what they're talking about. It's a lot of fun. And yes, they're completely biased and right leaning, but facts are facts and they call them straight. And I've heard them also criticize folks on the right, like Donald Trump. If Donald Trump gets up there and interrupts Biden while Biden's just blah, 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 and can't put a sentence together, making himself look terrible, they will yell and say, Trump, shut up, let him do it, let him talk. He's embarrassing himself, shut up. Which is something Trump has a hard time doing, to be fair. And sometimes that has consequences. He is not a man of few words, basically. Anyways, but I do highly recommend checking out Louder with Crowder. I will leave the socials, the links, and all that stuff in the description below. I know they're going to do a live stream on next Thursday, the 27th of the debate, and I will be in the chat. So if you watch on Rumble, that's probably where I'll be. I prefer to watch there, if not on Mug Club. I don't necessarily like watching the live stuff on Mug Club just because once it ends, and I can't keep watching it. So when they go over to Mug Club, I can continue watching on Rumble if I'm a little bit behind or something like that. So if you go over Rumble, you'll see me in the comments section or in the chats or whatever, and we'll be having a good time there. So anyway, socials down in the description below. Check that out. So, so I do want to show a odd source here talking about this. So for those that are unfamiliar with the video in question, the Young Turks, of all people, and if you don't know who the Young Turks are, they're a very far left media organization that, like a broken clock, get it right twice a day. You know, they're hitting, they're still missing more than they're hitting, I think, from a realistic, center aligned, balanced perspective. But I appreciate this because they're calling it like they see it. And I try not to use too much footage from them. I don't want to get any like copyright claims, especially from those guys. But I do appreciate their genuineness and calling out what they see. So I want to show you the clips from their show and just roll from there. We're gonna look into a couple of different clips from them, and I do have that divided up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one.
All right, that seems pretty clear to me, but not to the Democrats. There's a giant debate about whether that video was accurate or not. We're going to show you several different angles because this is a Zapruder film. So stay around for that. And we're going to ask you a question. It's a very simple one. Do you think Biden is in mental decline?
In recent weeks, Democrats have claimed that right-wingers, Republicans, operatives have been circulating and editing deceptive clips showing Joe Biden in decline or dealing with age and cognitive ability issues. Right-wing outlets pounced on that clip of the finale, depicting what they alleged to be Biden freezing and needing former President Barack Obama to help him off stage. You can see the New York Post's framing here. Biden's team quickly pushed back, arguing that after waving to the audience, Obama reached out and gently touched Biden on the arm before walking off stage together.
Yeah, so first things first, I changed the music at the beginning of that video. They had some kind of like epic music that probably is copywritten by somebody. So I changed it. Hope you don't mind. So a little bit of liberties there. I did doctor that a little bit, to be fair. But yeah, so they're already starting to kind of dig in a little bit, and they're fisting to get into the spin that the mainstream media is putting on it. But they're saying right off the bat, like, here's the video. They showed the video that went viral. There's going to be another video coming up. They showed the video that went viral. They said that the mainstream media, the administration and other folks are saying that the right-wing media are jumping on anything to make them look bad and they're doctoring stuff. I don't think this is doctored because I'm smart and I know it's not. But let's look at how the spin is going. Let's go back to TYT. Let them continue.
Fresh off being fact-checked by at least 6 mainstream outlets for lying about President Biden with cheap fakes, Rupert Murdoch's sad little super PAC, the New York Post, is back to disrespecting its readers and itself once again. Their ethical standards could do with a little unfreezing. That was a statement from Andrew Bates, who's the White House senior deputy press secretary. He also adds, by pretending the president taking in an applauding crowd for a few seconds is somehow wrong, all they're really admitting once again is they can't take on the leadership that's fueling the strongest economic growth in the world, bringing violent crime to a 50-year low, restoring manufacturing jobs from overseas, and strengthening our alliances.
So yeah, so that's the spin, right? That the mainstream media and the administration are trying to put on, saying, oh, well, you know, it's been fact-checked. It's been fact-checked. Like that time that we covered it. When Biden wore a hard hat backwards. And somebody was just making fun of him. It was like, hey, he's wearing a hard hat backwards. And everybody, Snopes, PolitiFact, everybody came out like, no, this is false. He was not wearing it backwards. Yes, he was. It's anyone who's ever worn a hard hat or seen anyone wear a hard hat knows it was backwards. But they have the fact checkers in their pockets. They have the social media folks in their pockets. I wouldn't be surprised if this video that I'm doing today on certain platforms might take some kind of hit or get some kind of fact check down below there, as they tend to do sometimes when you talk about certain things. That being said, again, I'm still shocked that it's TYT that's calling them out. But yeah, they're already saying, hey, the media is behind them, saying these are cheap fakes, that it's false. It's not. It's not. Let's go back to them for a little bit more. And we got 2 more clips I'm going to show from TYT.
But this is the video Biden's team decided to use as their proof. Take a look.
Okay, so far it looks good. Okay, Biden's hanging in there.
We've got a couple jump cuts already, though.
And by the way, now frozen. Oh,
and
take the wide shot. Take the wide shot. See this? They are claiming this proves that Biden didn't freeze. Well, then why'd you take the wide shot at that time? And then there's Obama escorting him off. You saw the video earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So we also have the 2 videos synced up, so you could see the impact of the cuts from the Biden team live stream. Take a look. So you could see this is it's the exact same thing you saw on the cell phone camera footage from the audience, but after a prolonged period on stage of him not moving, not doing anything, they cut to the entire arena. the entire auditorium. That to me, Jack, I'm curious what you think, but that to me shows even the producers in that moment were a little too uneasy about his motionlessness.
Okay, so I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And again, it's not meant to toot my own horn. It's meant to give you an idea of some of my background, which you don't necessarily need for this, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So, you know, again, I'm a filmmaker. I'm an internationally award-winning filmmaker. I am a cinematographer. I'm an editor, a writer, director, editing, a film that I shot for someone else here recently and enjoying it. Part of editing is keeping it fast action and engaging, and part of that is creating cuts, jumping from one angle to the next, from a wide to a close-up, a medium close-up, maybe an action shot or something like that. The point of all these different cuts is to convey something different, right? So a cut is used to hide a bad take. A cut can be used to keep movement and the audience engaged, so it's not just staying stagnant and boring, right? A cut, especially a wide, you cut to a wide, that's your safety shot. You don't have to follow anybody with the camera. You don't have to make sure the lighting is perfect. It's a wide shot, right? You can always cut to the wide for a safety shot. Makes everything look smaller. Sometimes that's the idea. A cut can also be used to change perspective, like in that particular video when you saw where the cell phone footage was showing Biden was frozen, looking out in the crowd, dead-eyed, just frozen, right? When they cut to, it wasn't the full-on wide. It was like, it was a wide, non-extreme wide. It was kind of at an angle a little bit, and it made him look like he was looking more to the side. He was more engaged, and then it cut to the wide, so you couldn't really tell he was still frozen. But if you look at him, especially in that synced up footage, he's frozen, looking in the crowd. Again, while this is sad, while this is not a good look for Biden, the emphasis I'm placing on here is that, and I didn't do a montage of the news media, which you can go find. I think Mark Dice did a good job and used somebody else's montage, I think, but you can go to his channel. I highly recommend Mark Dice's stuff. And he's got a montage on there about this, where the news media, MSNBC specifically, but other news organizations are running cover, saying that we are lying by presenting the truth, an unedited video. Unedited. Somebody picked up a cell phone and hit record. They hit stop. They shared the video. That's about as unedited as you can get. The other video that the White House put out had at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 different cuts, 3 or 4 different angles. And while the timing was synced up to the other one, and we saw that they didn't stretch or change time, which you can also do that. You cut to another shot several seconds after it happened, if you can make that work, then it looks like he's standing there less time. Doesn't look like they did that. But if we're going to call something edited, wouldn't the one that actually had the edits be the edited footage? But they're claiming that the cell phone footage is edited. It's fake, or a cheap fake, as what they're calling it. These people are idiots, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're not idiots. Maybe they're really, really smart, and they're just really, really deceptive and really good at lying to you. I think they're idiots, but the thing is they think you're an idiot. That's what should really piss you off. They think that you are an idiot, and you will believe them over your own lying eyes. Let's go back to TYT for one more clip.
Well, Jordan, there's 2 different things here. One is, okay, how bad a shape is Biden in? I'll come back to that. But the other is, this is like almost a giant sociology experiment. Everyone that isn't a hardcore Democrat sees the same video. They see a video of a man who's very, very old, seems to have frozen. The former President Obama helps him get off the stage, right? But if you're a Democrat, you don't see that at all. When they pan away so that you can't see, all over social media and the Daily Beast and so many other articles writing like, aha, you see, Biden didn't freeze. Who cares about stupid facts? And now I see Democrats going, who cares about stupid facts? Oh yeah, before that he was waving. He was waving. That's a really low bar, guys. He was waving earlier, right? So that brings us back to the second issue, which is the state of Biden. Does anybody remember Biden earlier in his career? Because I've been covering politics a long time. I remember a really vibrant guy.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Sorry about that. I may have added that last clip, you know, for context of when he was sharp. But look, when you're so far to the left that the Young Turks get left behind, you're too far left for the Young Turks. It's a sad day for you. That's a sad day for you. I mean, that's pretty far to the left. And the fact that they're calling you guys out is huge. So I want to give props, obviously, to a channel that'll probably never see this, but hey, to the Young Turks, props for calling them out. You know, I try to do my part in calling out my side and all sides and to be as close to balance as I can be with my own personal bias, because it's always going to be that way. But yeah, let's call it for what it is. This is a man in declining health. That's one thing. The other thing is how the media is portraying it and lying and trying to cover it up. They think you're stupid. They are lying to you. They want to manipulate you, right? Look, again, to me, this is less about Biden and more about how the mainstream media is willing to lie to the American people, even when there's unedited proof right in front of them. I know this segment is a bit long, okay? But I want to drive this point home with you guys, especially any liberals that are still watching. If you are, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you and present this to you. And I hope you're being very open-minded about it, because honestly, that's how people change sides. That's how people get new perspectives of life. That's how people get educated, by being open-minded and willing to be wrong, willing to change, willing to adapt, willing to compromise. That's what makes us great. That's what makes us a great community. And I think for the most part, most of us are. I think you got the far right, then you got the far left. You probably got about 70 or 80% of people that are more toward the middle. And I think we get along pretty good. So again, if you've stuck with me this long, liberals, I want to thank you very much, or undecideds. Because again, as much as this is about Biden, this is more about the media and trying to expose them, because that's what I want to do here. All right. So again, these are some more clips that they are saying, get over here. They are saying, look at these right-wing extremists, you know, showing these cheap fakes and edited footage and stuff. While it is edited in the sense that it's a montage, meaning a series of clips strung together, it's not meant to look like he's sitting there stuttering and stammering for 20 minutes straight, or 5 minutes straight. It's a series of individual clips. It's obvious that it's a series of individual clips, but it's the individual clips where you start seeing the problem. So I'm going to hit play. We are definitely not going to play 5 minutes worth of it, but just enough to give you a little bit of a taste of what the right is putting out there to attack his cognitive decline. Yes. But what the left, the mainstream media, this administration are pushing back against is saying, this is lies. This isn't true, even though you can see it with your own eyes. I'm going to hit a little bit here. Let's watch it. And it's sad. It really is sad. I say that as someone who doesn't care for him. This is sad.
And I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. I was just thanking, anyway. But I just, look, I mean, Putin's kleptocracy, yeah. It was in January, after being elected. The late January, early February. He said, it's not, we lead, not just, well, I won't go into it. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers. For two reasons. One, it's an impact the decades been making, because inaction was there was inaction with the Department of from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway. The idea that
All right, I'm gonna just stop it there, guys. Look, I mean, it's I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, I don't like Biden. He may have been passionate about representing the American people at one point in time. I don't know how long ago that was. Not the biggest fan overall of his. He's been a liar and a deceiver for a very long time, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But at the same time, I don't wish ill upon anybody, and this man is ill. He's an old man, and this is elder abuse. Be it his wife, be it his administration, be it the Democrat Party in general, pushing this man out there. He is not well. He is not well. So again, I'm going to be like Cenk Uygur here. 2 takeaways from this. He's not well, number 1. And number 2, it's obvious to everyone except for the mainstream media and his administration that keep trying to tell you that he's fine. He is not. So please, please, if you've listened to me this long, I hope this has been eye-opening for you. And I hope you will, at minimum, consider fact-checking who you get your news from, listening to alternatives for news. It doesn't have to be me. Sorry. It doesn't have to be me. You know, whoever you want to listen to. Do a YouTube search, Rumble search, Google search. Find somebody different. In fact, I listen to folks on the left intentionally and folks on the right who are obviously biased. And I often find that the truth falls somewhere in the middle, or a lot of times over on the right some. And I know you're going to say, well, Chris, that's because you're right leaning and stuff. But honestly, I've not seen this much cover for anything probably in my whole life. I've never seen something like this. It is very eye-opening to see the deceit behind those that have the power in the media, the elites that have control over so many corporations and stuff, ones that you're possibly watching this on right now. The power that these companies have, that these elitists have, that our government, who's supposed to be working for us, have. But again, guys, I thank you for sticking with me. And I hope this segment has been eye-opening to each and every one of you.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.